Hello there from this beautiful March day, middle of March here, 2019 in North Idaho, and spring is coming and it is on time, except for obviously, as you can tell, we still have a lot of snowpack on the ground. But that's fine. It's actually supposed to warm up a lot here, and this is good for the land. And we're excited about this year coming up. And what I wanted to do today is quickly share with you the three main reasons, these aren't the only reasons, but the three main reasons why we homestead. Now, I was inspired to do this by one of our YouTube followers who did the similar thing of their 5 reasons why. So today I'm just going to give you our top 3 reasons of why we homestead. Now, I often say to people, in fact, I just did this in a presentation I gave yesterday, and I asked this question: what, how, or why, which one of those is the most important question in you living out your homestead dream? And you know, a lot of times I'll get these quizzical looks on people's faces, and they'll be like, well, it's it's what? It's why, kind of across the whole spectrum. And usually it's about half and half on what and why. I would submit to you that why is more important. It is the most important thing that I have found, bar none, because the what and the how will change over time. You're going to change your farmstead enterprises. You're going to change how you approach things. As you learn more, as you gain more experience, you're going to tweak this and that. So the what and the how are going to change, but it's the why that will sustain you in homesteading, okay, and living out on the land, whatever the case may be, because it is difficult. It is very difficult. And quite frankly, there's a high failure rate of people coming out to the land. They live out their dreams. 2 to 3 years, a high percentage of people are gone, okay? And I think part of that is lack of clarity on why they're doing what they're doing. They oftentimes, will have this gap between expectation and reality, and oftentimes that's the case that causes it. Other times it's, they underestimated the financial requirement. That's very common. People will say, oh, because I'm going to live off the land, I don't need a lot of money. And they find out that that's not true, at least to some extent. So anyway, the top 3 reasons why. Number 1 is it's very important to us to have some level of self-sufficiency. Okay, some pretty significant level of self-sufficiency. Now, am I trying to tell you that we're totally self-sufficient? And no, absolutely not. That would be a lie. But we have a significant level of self-sufficiency. Okay, right now we grow over 50% of all of our own caloric needs from our land. With that being said, do we have inputs? Yes, we still have inputs for that, but that's a goal that is increasing with decreasing inputs over time. So, there is even some dependency there as well, to be perfectly frank. But that's a really good goal. We're happy to be there. And that's on a year-round basis. That's not for 6 weeks in the summer. A lot of people say, well, we grow all of our own food. A lot of times what that means is for 6 weeks in the summer, when the garden's kicking, they grow a lot of their own food. We average 50% of our own caloric needs over the course of a year. Okay, there are times in the summer where we could eat 100% of all of our own stuff for weeks at a time. But, I want to be very clear about that, is that we're talking about over an entire year, to include winter. So food preservation is a big part of what we do here. But that's the first reason, is some level of self-sufficiency. But I'm not going to kid myself or you and say that we're 100% self-sufficient, nor are we honestly trying to get there. That's not one of our goals, but it is very important to us, no matter what, to have that level of self-sufficiency. And let me just backtrack for 1 second, and the reason why your whys are so important is because when things get tough, when you're struggling to keep your property plowed out, for example, for us, I have a half-mile driveway, I've got to keep it plowed out. Okay, the county's not coming along to do it for me. I've got to do it. So I've got to keep it plowed out, which means our plow truck's got to stay in tip-top shape. And so when the transmission's starting to overheat and I have to struggle with all these things, and our sheep breeding stock is in their wintering quarters is having problems, and you know we're dealing with all those types of things, it's not the what or the how that gets us through. It's the whys. Okay, so it's no, I'm doing this because I want a self-sufficient lifestyle, even to the degree that we're doing it. Okay, so that's really important to understand. The second reason why is health is important to us. Our physical and our mental and our emotional health is important to us, and so growing nutrient-dense food is really important. And of course, all these tie together, but it has a significant reason why. So the grass-fed lamb and the pasture/forest-raised pork and our poultry and you know, the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and the seeds that we grow here are all done in a manner that fits within our values and provides for us excellent food. Okay, so that it literally provides health and nourishment for us in a way that's you know, excellent. And so that's one of our second reason why. And then the third most important reason why we choose to do what we do, to homestead here, and I'll show you just around just a little bit. Kind of beautiful time of year, March, spring melts on right now. It's just magnificent. You can see the mountains in the background, and so that leads right into the third reason why, is the peace and tranquility, the calm that we have for living here. That is a significant why for us. It gives us joy and a happiness to be able to live this lifestyle. Okay, so in conclusion, real quick, self-sufficient lifestyle, the nutrient-dense food, and the peace and tranquility that we get for living this, those are our top three reasons why we do what we do and enjoy it so much, even when times get really tough.